Are there any drummers in the house?
I play percussion.
That's because he couldn't play anything else.
Shut up.
Come here, dude.
Hey, man. Did you touch my drum set?
Nope.
It's just weird, because seems like someone definitely touched my drum set.
Yeah, that is weird. 'Cause I didn't touch them.
I am warning you right now, if you touch my drums, I will stab you in the neck with a knife.
Not quite my tempo. It's all good. No worries. Here we go.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Drumheads Podcast. My name is Daniel, and this is episode 71 with Joey Bones. Yes, Joey was kind enough. This was a very last-minute thing. I found out my kids were going to a birthday party, so I'm like, what should I do at that time? Should I clean the kitchen? Nah. Should I clean up the house? No. Play drums? Maybe. Oh, I know. I can have Joey Bones on the podcast. So I sent a message to Joey, and he said, yeah, let's do it. So we had a wonderful conversation over Skype, and we just talked about, how awesome the Instagram community is on, especially the drummers. We're all like this super tight, super close, we got each other's back. And Joey is just one of those guys out there who's just, he's starting to make a name for himself on the Instagram scene. He's been picked up by Zion Cymbals, which is super rad. He's also a artist now for Love Custom Drums, Buddy Love. And he's also, he's recording. They recorded an EP, hoping to release in December. And he's just putting himself out there. And what I liked about him, I can definitely relate to him, is we're both we have a day job. But we by night, we do the drumming thing, or I do the podcast. But he puts up videos of him, just laying some grooves down. Nothing crazy, He's like me, just hooks up the GoPro and just goes to town and just picks like the best groove that he's working on, just kind of almost like freeform playing, just working out ideas. But he's a very positive person on the Instagram scene. So he's always commenting on other people's stuff, like, oh, that's so great, love the sound, you're doing really good at that. And we need that. There's so much negativity going on. People are at each other that we just need that. We need the to be more positive. There's no two ways about it. Right now everything is such a anyways that we just need to calm down and just compliment each other. I think people forgot how to do that. People forget how to just compliment somebody else for their work, for what they do, for drumming, whatever. And Joey's one of those guys that's doing that and just being positive. So we talked about, his kit. We talked about just talked about the music we grew up on, because we were roughly about the same age. And so we had the same kind of sensibilities, I guess you could say, and what he's wanting to do in the future. So it was just a great podcast. I think a lot of people will find this podcast very appealing, because he's a guy on Instagram that everybody knows now, and is I think everybody wants to hear his point of view, which is great. This podcast is all about other people's point of views. So anyways, and then yes, the raffle is still going on. We decided to keep it going till December 1st because Love Custom Drums, Buddy Love. I have to say it that way when you gotta sing it almost like Buddy Love. Anyways, he threw in a snare drum at the last second, and so we wanted to give everybody time to participate in that. So if you've already bought a raffle ticket and you haven't won anything yet, you're still eligible. Don't worry. You can still buy. So it's unlimited. You can buy as many tickets you want. Just more chances to win. Which means we still have the 1710 percussion to give away, and then we also have the Predator percussion as well. Now we have the Love Custom Drums. So we've got 3 more snare drums to give away. Who knows? We might get another one in the mix. It's hard to say. These things happen, when they happen. But don't fret. You're still someone's going to win those drums. It's going to be awesome. And yes, so get those raffle tickets, please. I'm just overwhelmed by the generosity of the drumming community. You guys are awesome. So with that said, here it is, episode 71 with Joey Bones, Buddy Love. What? I don't know why I sang it that way. I'm sorry. Hey guys, welcome back to the Drumheads podcast, and my name is Daniel, and I am joined by Joey Parasole. Did I say it right?
You did, my man.
Word! All right, cool.
You get an A for effort and precision.
There we go. Or AKA Joey Bones. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you, Daniel?
I'm doing good. I've actually had a really fun day today, for once.
Hey, listen, I'll take it when it comes, my man.
Yeah. It was actually a relaxing day at work, which is very rare.
Yeah, I don't have too many of those myself.
Yeah, when they come, it's like, is something wrong? You know, it's like it just hit right. I don't know. It was just a very chilled out day, and I'm like, this is cool. I like this.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it.
Yeah, you got to take it. So kind of just give me a little rundown about where you're from and how long you've been playing drums.
All right, I'm originally from Brooklyn, moved to New Jersey, Central Jersey by the shore, the Asbury Park area, when I was about 10 years old. And so I grew up here. I'm a Jersey boy, but, I'm Brooklyn at heart. Started playing drums at that age, at 10. So I'm going to date myself, but I'm playing 27 years now.
That's all right. It's all right, brother. I hear you. I hear you.
Listen, I'm glad to be here.
I date myself all the time. I dated myself on another podcast the other day. I'm like, oops. I'm like, I don't think people are going to get this reference. But
listen, you know what?
It's okay.
Full disclosure, man.
Full disclosure. But just I try to keep it honest. It's like, I'm from the 80s. It's okay. But,
yeah, I hear you, dude.
Yeah. So how did you get into drumming? Did you come from a musical family at all, or?
You know what? My dad played saxophone in jazz bands and stuff up until he met my mom and started the family thing. But I actually in Brooklyn, music class was playing either violin, viola, or cello, and I played violin for 3 years. And when I moved to Jersey, they didn't offer it. So I was like, okay, well, I love music. I want to play something. So I'm like, Mom, maybe I could try the trumpet. And she's like, you're terribly asthmatic. You're not going to play the trumpet. I'm like, all right. Well, she's like, why don't you try drums? I'm like, it seems heavy. A lot of stuff to carry around.
Yeah.
But, so, I tried the drums, and I got to shout him out. My music teacher, Mr. Manzo, I don't even know if he's still with us. I only pray that he is. A week after me playing, he came to my house, like on his own time, told my parents, hey, get him a kit. Here's a guy's name. Get him some lessons, see how it goes. And I have never turned back. It's up until being a father, it was the only thing that ever came natural to me was playing.
Oh, wow. Well, that's cool. So he came to your house and was like, hey, your kid's got potential, and,
yeah.
That's awesome. That's very rare.
Dude, that's being a real teacher, man. That's being an educator and caring about your students for sure.
Yeah. Wow. I've never heard of that. I mean, I've heard of like teachers going out of their way to help students, but actually, to like really invest in like that. That's amazing. That's a great story.
Yeah, very blessed, man. And like I said, I've been doing it. I've been in bands since I'm 12, 13 years old.
Did you do the school band through the whole time?
Yeah, I was funny you say that. I was under the delusion that I was going to go to college for music. And
I did too. So yeah.
So I did everything, and I'm glad I did. It made me as eclectic as I am. I played in the marching band, I played in jazz bands, and stuff like that. And then I actually did a summer semester up at Berkeley. And,
nice.
Man, I tell you, you go to a place like that, you think you're a bit of a player, and you go to a place like Berkeley, and wow. The cats up there were like aliens.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're intense.
And, yeah, I loved it. It's a learning experience. Obviously, it's a higher learning, but it was very jazz oriented. And as much as I dig jazz, I'm a rock guy, and really didn't see myself staying there. So I came back home and started just pursuing music. And my parents, God bless them, were always super supportive. And I followed music up until I was about 23, and then. That's when I decided to get a full-time gig and settle down with the wife, have some kids, start a beautiful family. Yeah. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh yeah. It's I hear you, man, because I was the same way. I had my first kid when I was 26, and so I got, I started working pretty much. I went to college, and then I got a job at like a medical warehouse, and then that's what I've been doing. I'd play here and there, but it's nothing. There's nothing consistent. It was just more or less just to play. Sounds like
Right.
you're kind of in the same situation at one point.
Yeah, I'd say like, I mean, I did it pretty significantly. I did a bunch of touring in like the early 2000s, 2001. Played in a couple different bands, and I, had my fun with it for sure. I got to see the country, and I have zero regrets about it. But yeah, it came a time where once I was working full time, once I started having kids, I was playing maybe once, twice a month. Up until last year, like about late summer last year, my buddy Garvin's at Garvin's, great drummer, great dude, guy I grew up with. He's like, yo man, you should start posting on Instagram. I was like, all right, I'll try it. I was social media inept, like you know what I mean. I had nothing, no clue how it worked, what have you. So actually, oddly enough, 3 days from now will be the anniversary of my first post on Instagram.
Oh wow!
So I just jumped right in.
Was that in? That's a 1 year anniversary, or?
Yeah, my first one.
Oh wow, nice. That's awesome. Well,
it's been a whirlwind.
Yeah, it's funny. I never would have imagined that Instagram would have been like this outlet that has anyone can be kind of known now these days. Like I'm some schmuck from North Carolina. I'm a nobody.
I totally get it. It's funny. I posted something on Facebook the other day. One of my videos had a bunch of views, and I was like, "What's going on, man? I'm a cable guy from Jersey. You know what I mean?" But this medium has just been one surprise after another. Truly, a blessing. So much learning and sharing, and a sense of community is like off the chain.
Yeah,
I really didn't expect it.
Yeah. It's different because I mean, you go on other, like if you're on Facebook, it's always, especially right now with this heightened political atmosphere we're in, it's a little yeah, I'm like, oh, my son of a bitch, would it just go away? But but
soon enough, man.
Soon enough, yeah. But you go on Instagram and you're flipping through, and 99% of my stuff is drums or drummers or just funny stuff. Nothing that's too serious, and it's like kind of like relaxing. It's not like, oh, this is such a chore.
No, it's very focused. What you're interested in, that's what you're gonna get. And I mean, the talent pool out here is just so deep, and I'm blessed to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And watching your progression, because it's drummers are a dime a dozen, especially in the digital age. But
sure.
There was something about your playing that you kind of like have this. I always use this Greek word. It's called kefi. It means passion. I'm partly Greek, so
okay.
So I'm partly
cool.
partly Greek, partly Italian, and a little Middle Eastern flavor added to it. But anyways, but always it's passion, and you have like this passion while you're playing, like and you're real aggressive when it too, and I like that.
Yeah, you know what, I've been told that before. I love what I do, man. Nothing compares to getting behind a kit in for me and doing what I do. Listen, I'm far from the best drummer in the world. I'm far from the best the most technical drummer in the world. I just love what I do. I'm fueled by all the talent out there, and I'm learning so much. I learned more in the last year than I have in the last 10. Just everything from more, in-depth time signatures and patterns and sticking, and it's endless, man. I'm really blown away by everything.
Oh yeah, I hear you. I mean, I've been doing this podcast for 2 years, and I thought going into it, I'm like, I've been playing drums for 20-something years. I think I've got it all figured out. No, I don't have it all figured out.
Well, that's the beauty of it, man. We're always learning. We're always growing.
Yeah, and the whole scene with like stave custom drums and stuff like that. I had no clue. I didn't even know what a stave drum was till I got on Instagram.
Yeah.
I just was used to like Tama, because Tama was my brand that I preferred, and I don't think they ever made a stave drum in the past. I know they've made one now, but
right
after seeing all these cool companies, you're like, oh wow, this is incredible. And
well, that's
the
other thing. I mean, there are first off, love the major brands, always have, grew up on them. But the last 3 or 4 years, I've been so focused on just the amazing boutique brands that are out there just killing it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you talk Stave drums. I did a demo for Predator Percussion, Mike over at Predator Percussion.
Mike Martin, yeah, good guy.
Oh, dude, good dude, for sure. But, man, that drum, it was ridiculous. Like, the control of the tuning range, everything. I was really impressed by it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, blessed to get my hands on it for a couple of weeks, for sure.
It's weird playing, like, because you think a drum's a drum, but then when you really get into it, there's so many different characteristics and ways you can tune it and the sounds you can get out of it.
Bearing edges. And,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it gets deep.
And interviewing people like Mike Martin, I've learned so much about how they come about making these shells, and the attention to detail is incredible, and that's why I love doing those interviews with those guys, because I'm like, I want to know. I don't, I'm so, I guess wouldn't want to say ignorant to the fact of it, but I just didn't know about it. And it's like, teach me.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's a growing and learning experience for us all.
So back to, to drummers. So who are some of your favorite drummers growing up?
Growing up, let's see. The first drummer I heard that made me sure that I wanted to be a drummer, I knew, was Gene Krupa. When I heard the beginning of Sing, 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 my grandfather was big on big band and jazz stuff, and I heard that dum 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 dum. I was like, what is that? And then my dad, real big Zeppelin guy. Bonham is, I mean, if you can't tell in my playing, he is my number one influence. You know what I mean?
I was about to guess that. I've been like, it's gonna be Bonham. I know it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is for almost all of us, but I get my, him and Keith Moon, they were the first bangers, man. They're out there grooving, but they were hitting hard.
Oh yeah, they were.
That's kind of, I modeled myself after definitely his style, but then I started taking lessons, and I got introduced to like guys like Weckl and Dennis Chambers, and they were just like, mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like next level stuff. But I draw inspiration from everywhere. I guess when I was actively like playing in bands and getting started, like Chad Sexton to me was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
311's a great band. They lost it for me like maybe 5 records in or so. But his groove is undeniable.
Yeah, for sure.
Love his stuff.
Yeah.
And lately it's been guys like Abe Laboriel Jr., Paul McCartney's drummer. There's another dude out there just, you would never think some guy backing up Paul McCartney is beasting back there. You know?
Yeah. And he's an incredible singer, too.
Oh, an amazing, what was he, the bass player, I think? Or maybe his brother's a bass player. I don't know. The whole family is super musical.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And anybody else?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of The Voice.
Funny, yeah. No, that's fine.
Love that show. Dude, Nate Morton from The Voice, I literally watch the performances just to hear what he does.
Oh, yeah.
He is a beast.
Yeah.
Love his playing. Big time.
Those guys, they got some wicked great chops for sure. I mean, because you've got to turn on a dime to like, we're going to go from a pop song to a rock song to a country song, and then maybe kind of a hip hop or a jazz kind of tune. You've got to have the skills to do it all. You can't just be one kind of type of drummer. You got to be very broad.
No, 100%. And everything he plays is just he adds his own flavor. His fills are just filthy. And big fan of his. Well,
it's like the drummer from that was on American Idol, Teddy Campbell, I think his name was. Yeah, he was like that. Just he had that old school, gospel chop drumming, and just really added some flavor to some of those songs.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
good stuff all around. And of course, like guys like Danny Carey, a huge Tool fan.
Oh yeah,
growing up.
Yeah, that guy, he is. It seems like he almost has like 4 arms, but he's some of the beats he's doing. It's like, come on, I know you're an alien or something. Come on, just let it out. But
no, you hit it on the head, man. That's alien musicianship out of them.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about gear for a second. So I know. Recently, you got one of the Love custom drum kits. That thing is beautiful. It's a beautiful kit.
Dude, I tell you, man, literally the best drum set I've ever played. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna BS anybody. Everything about it, and the more I talk to Buddy about it after I got it, it's got reversed round bearing edges on the toms. He's got a dull 45 degree on the kick. I was like, dude, this kick. I actually laid down 6 tracks for my band, the Morgan Freemasons, about 3 weeks ago, and hopefully we're gonna get a record out by the new year. But in the studio, man, that kick drum, the producer's like, dude, what is that? I'm like, I don't know. He told me he put dull 45s on it. He said for extra thump. I'm like, yeah, extra thump, all right.
Yeah,
it was killing.
Yeah. Well, what are the shells made out of?
They're actually, I believe there's 7-ply maple on these.
Oh, okay.
No re-rings or anything like that. I got single flange hoops on them, which I'm a huge fan of. I love the look. They're just so classy.
Yeah, for sure.
And I actually this morning got a snare drum shipped out of him from him. He got the it's a 6x14 old steel, like an aged steel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 16 gauge. And I also got single flange hoops on those, and that got shipped out to me this morning. I'm pretty stoked. I should have it about 3 or 4 days.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
And so, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm actually announcing it now, even though it's going to be known by the time this airs. But I'm going to be an official hitter for Love Custom Drums. I'm going to be endorsed and.
Woo!
Yeah, man, my head's spinning. I'm really stoked about it.
Yeah, I mean that's all. I mean that's the greatest feeling in the world, to get that affirmation, not just from the fans, which is also great, but also to get affirmation from someone who builds the drum.
Oh, and what a builder! I mean, a builder, a rad dude. Buddy Love is really just a Class A gentleman and a hell of a craftsman for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked to be a part of the team.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get him on the podcast. I'm like, I have this giant list of like people on my thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, gosh, I gotta get this person. I gotta get that person. Finally got Joey on. Okay, I'm good.
Right.
It's like,
listen, I know he would love to be on.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna that's my December wish list, I guess you could say. Hopefully.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So and then how about heads? What heads do you like to rock?
Well, I've been sold on Aquarian Super Kick since they came out on my bass drum. I like I've used Aquarians on my toms and snares before, but I am 100% all the time Super Kick 1 on my kick drums. And right now I'm feeling both coated and clear Evans G2s.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's just a very classic, drum head for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What about snare wise?
I'm on the G2 train for my snare as well.
Okay.
I used to be all Remo, for toms, and I saw everyone playing Evans. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let's give them a shot. Give them a shot and see how they are.
Yeah, I had an experience with Remo that was unfortunate for them, but I guess fortunate for Evans. So yeah. And I'll try things out. But right now, I mean, on my kit, on my Frankenstein kit, it's just like I've got a Remo on the snare. I've got an Aquarian kick. It's like the Super Kick 10, I think, and then Evans on the toms. It's like it's just like a mix match of heads and mix match of drums. It's like nothing makes a rhyme or reason with my kit right now. So it's like
Listen. Can you play it? It's all that matters.
It's all that matters, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And you know what? I was actually just I just played I guess it was a Gretsch Renown that had some Evans calf tones on them, the new Evans 56. They seem pretty cool, I got to be honest. They sounded great, no dampening, anything. But a friend of mine said something similar came out from Aquarian. I think it was like a modern vintage, I think it's called.
I think so,
yeah. Like a cream colored bass to the heads and everything. He said he put those on his old Ludwigs and it was killing.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
I'll have to check. Because you're the first person I've talked to that has tried the calf tone. So I was curious to see if it actually had some old school sound to it, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's super warm. I got to be honest, I can't give a great review only because I don't know what they really like. If they were on my drums, it would be a different game.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know how my drums sound. But very impressed so far.
Nice, huh? And sticks. What kind of sticks do you like to use?
I bounce between Vader 5Bs and Vic Firth 5B, the extreme 5Bs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All wood tip. I don't mess with nylon. I haven't played nylon in a long time.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, I just I fear for my eye safety.
Yeah. There's that video. I think it was that Ceros guy that that does something on Instagram. I don't think it was a plastic tip, but like the tip flew off and like hit him right in the eye one time.
Yeah, I tell you,
it's
dangerous profession we got going on here.
Yeah. Luckily, I wear glasses, so I've got a little bit of deflection. But those splinters sometimes, or you're rocking a beat and you crack your knuckle on the on the rim. You're like, oh god, yeah, that's the worst. But
yeah, well, especially in the middle of a show, and you're oh my god.
Well, a lot of times you don't notice it till the break. You're like really into it, and you're like, oh, what? Oh my god! All right, yeah.
There's blood all over my head. Great.
Yeah, you've been wiping your head. You're like, wow, I'm really sweating. Oh, yeah. So, and cymbals. I've noticed that recently you got some Zion cymbals.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. Actually, right after I got hold of the Love Customs kit, this guy Josh, his handle's at Cymbal Business. He's an A&R for Zion, and he's also a distributor. And he hit me up. He's like, hey man. He's like, I'd like to get your set of cymbals to match this new kit. I'm like,
yeah,
sounds good to me. And a little bit of back and forth. And 1, 2, 3, I'm part of the Zion cymbals family. Which let me tell you something about these cymbals. I am so stoked on them.
Oh yeah.
Really, no joke. I've been playing 8 customs, and I had a couple of Z customs for like the last 16, 17 years. I don't have a bad word to say about Zildjian. You know what I mean? They are what they are because for a reason. But I don't know if it's just because I went a little darker. I went with what's called the Epic Dark series. But my goodness, it's been an eye-opening experience. I love it. All I want to do is keep ordering. Really a big fan.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was always a big drum guy, but never a huge cymbal guy. Like I was kind of like, whatever. I got cymbals. Snares. I like to collect snare drums. I like having drums, but I tell you, this company turned me into a cymbal guy for sure.
That's always sweet, but it's also like, ooh,
it's not what I need.
yeah. It's like I already had a problem with the snare drums. Now I got to worry about cymbals. Yeah.
Well,
so
it helps. It helps when you get a little break.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that about the cymbals because I've noticed, because I've been a Zildjian guy my whole life. I've got one Meinl cymbal, and then someone gave me a Turkish handmade cymbal, and there's something about the actual hand hammered cymbals that just they sing a whole lot better than I guess you could say more of a manufactured pressed cymbal.
Yeah, and you know what? It adds to the individuality of the pie. You can get 2 of the same size of the same cymbal. They're going to sound different.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because they are hand-hammered. And, I don't know what's going on over there in Turkey. I feel like there's like a street where all these guys are making these cymbals. And, stamp whatever you want on them. As long as you get a good alloy, you're going to get a good product out of it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about just getting the blanks from Turkey. And then, where is Zion based out of? They're out of California, right?
California. I don't know if they got something going on in Alabama as well, but I'm pretty sure their main base is out of California, Northern California.
Okay.
And I know everything's handmade in Turkey. They're so glad to have my hands on these things, and glad to be a part of that family as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been really wanting to find somebody and just try them out to see what they sound like because they do sound amazing for sure.
Yeah, listen, I played a couple different lines so far, and I got not one bad word to say.
That's cool. And so right now, so you just said you're recording an EP, or is it a full length album?
Yeah, it's going to be in between. I think we're going to get about 8 songs in.
8 songs. Okay. So what kind of style of music is that band plays?
I'm a rock and roll guy. I say I'm in a rock band now. That's pretty broad, but I would say if I had to, I would say like a '90s rock band kind of. We got a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Okay.
I'm blessed to be playing with two of my oldest friends that I've known since I moved to Jersey.
Oh,
and then
nice.
and then the singer who also plays guitar. We went to high school together, so I've known these cats for 20 plus years, and it's just now that we're all getting together and doing our thing, and I'm having a ton of fun with it.
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty awesome to get back together with musicians you've played with in the past, and then seeing how it works now that you're older and more mature and stuff like that.
You said it, mature.
I would love to get back with because the guy, my best friend in high school, was his name's Justin Biltman, and he is now the bass player for Three Doors Down. And
are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
A new one or the original one?
He's the new one.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I played with Three Doors Down like twice.
Okay.
My band did, I should say.
When was that?
Oh, geez, I would say it was like 2002, 2003,
oh, okay, yeah, so
when like Superman was big.
Yeah. Now that was the original bass player. I think he unfortunately passed away recently. I think.
Oh wow.
Of drug problems. But my friend Justin had he was in a band that was kind of more of like a southern rock punk band, I guess you could say, and he somehow friended like the management and that, and then when they were having problems with their bass player, it's like, hey, do you play bass? Like, because he played guitar, and he's like, yeah, I could play bass. Well, I'm like, good answer, Justin. Good answer. If you said no,
problem.
yeah. Hang on, I gotta get a bass. But yeah, and then now he's the bass player for Three Doors Down, and it's like I would love to like, hey, Justin, let's go play real quick, But he's busy doing his thing. But it's a different experience coming back to it and playing in more mature ways, I guess you could say.
No, absolutely, and that's great for him, man. That's a heck of a gig.
Yeah, I'm like I quit that band like like the first like 6 months, and then they went on and did that. And then I'm like, but it's all right. I found my path.
There you go. That's all that matters.
You can't be bitter, man, right now, but it's all right.
No,
you can. No,
absolutely not.
You can vocalize your frustrations, but leave it at that. So.
Let me tell you something. In once again, I'll date myself. In like 2001, a management company. Remember the band Pennywise? Is still playing.
Oh yeah,
punk
yeah,
band
yeah,
Pennywise.
Yeah. Oh yeah, saw them at a concert. Yeah.
Yeah, their manager Stewart at the time, who unfortunately passed away. That was kind of brutal. But anyway, he brought my old band. We were called Last Perfect Thing out to California in like 2001. Put us up in Long Beach, paid our rent, got us groceries, and all we did was like showcase for major labels, which. I'm 21 at the time. I'm like, give me a bad record deal and I'll sign it,
Yeah.
And it's funny because we did probably 3 showcases for Hollywood Records, and nothing ever came from it. We ended up coming back to Jersey, and then like a month later, they signed Breaking Benjamin. I could not listen to that band, brother. I'm sure they're good dudes. I don't have anything bad to say about them, but it's just like a stigma.
Yeah, I hear you. It's just like, ugh. Yeah, I hear you.
But like you said, man, I'm glad to be here. Glad to be where I'm at.
Yeah, and I'm always positive of like the where I'm at. Is the right time. It's meant to be, I guess you could say. And it sounds like with you, putting up the recordings of you playing, and me doing the podcast, it was the right time. It's just dude,
it was our path. We just didn't know it.
Yeah, we didn't know it. And so when you record your videos, do you kind of have like a plan going into it, or you're just gonna like, I've been working on this groove, I'm gonna lay it down and just put it up?
All right. When I said full disclosure, I meant it. Here's what I do, and I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
I come downstairs to my basement when I have a free 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I press record and I just play.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. Very rarely do I. Go in there with a preconceived notion that I'm going to work on something. I like to record myself all the time because that's how I find the grooves. That's how I, build upon what I already just started playing. I let my hands talk, and then I use my brain and I work on it and I improve upon it. And it's funny because I was like, I'm doing this for about a year now. Been posting at least once a day average, I would say. And man, I'm out of tricks. I'm like, what do I do now? So My tricks are out there. I'm actually gonna start taking lessons again with my old teacher.
Oh, nice.
I think it's gonna be the best move for me to grow and work on stuff that I don't even think about, like ostinatos and just different feels and stickings that I wouldn't even think of on my own.
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna be the next move is take some lessons again.
Well, that sounds like a great idea because you learn stuff. Like I said, the older you get, the more mature you get, and you're more open to new things.
Yeah, for sure.
And I couldn't read music when I was when I faked my way through high school the whole time, and I'm dyslexic, so everything kind of just turns into like a blah on the page. And,
yeah, that could be a problem.
And I really would love to learn how to read music again because I've got my dyslexia kind of under control, so I think it'd be fun to kind of experiment with trying to learn to read music again because it was I'll always say that Drumline, that movie with Nick Cannon, was based on me. It's all right.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's funny.
Yeah, because it came out. I think it came out like 2 years after I graduated high school, and I'm like, oh, that was so me. I think they stole it from me, and but there's probably like 1,000 drummers out there that had the same thing.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. But yeah, so your teacher is, you said this, it's not the guy that you took lessons from when you were a kid, or is it?
He played in like some 80s hair bands and did his thing, and he's like one of these guys that literally he's doing polyrhythms and ostinatos, and he's playing like left foot claves on cowbells while he's blowing your mind with like linear patterns, and he's one of those like alien players, and I know I could learn more from him. Mm-hmm. I actually wish I never stopped taking lessons, to be honest, but real life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, I hear you. Do you don't do double bass stuff, right? You do single.
Yeah, negative. I guess I haven't played double bass since I was like 13. Mm-hmm. The last time I had a double bass pedal. Mm-hmm. And I actually went up to my rehearsal space a couple months ago, and there was a different kit there, double bass. So I sat down and I start ripping away on this thing, and it was actually pretty cool. I had fun with it, but I'm a real traditionalist when it comes to playing, man. I'm a 4-piece, minimal cymbals. It's just the way I approach drums. I got no problems with big kits. I think they're fun. You know what I mean? I actually would like to have a big kit set up on the side because, I went to Guitar Center like 2 weeks ago, and I was looking for some sticks, and I sat down at this they had like 5 toms, like 5 racks, 2 down, and I started playing stuff that I would have never dreamed of playing on a 4-piece kit. But for the most part, I like a very simple, straightforward setup. Yeah.
Well, I had on Mark O'Connell from Taking Back Sunday, and he said something about the same lines of view of, I had the double pedal, and then they were like, why do you have a double pedal? They're like, get rid of it. And he's like, okay. And and then he said, well, I've experimented having like 2 floor toms and just 1 rack, and he's like, I always get rid of the 3rd floor tom. He just said, I just stick with just the 1 floor tom, the 1 rack, and 3 cymbals, and that he said it pushes him to be more creative.
I concur completely, totally. But what I will say is that I have 100% intentions on getting a 16x16 matching floor tom for that kit. I already spoke to Buddy about it.
You're like, Buddy, let's do this.
Yep, I'm like, we need to match it up. You got more of that white marine pearl laying around? He's like, I got it. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah. Well, I like several toms. It's just me. I've always liked having 4 toms, sometimes 5. Just depends,
Okay.
Space, but to each his own. So it's always
absolutely.
It's always about. But there are times when I'm like, when I feel like I'm getting stuck in doing a same groove, I'll start taking pieces away to force myself to, be a little more creative, and then slowly add them back in. So it's always like a maze, I guess you could say. Right. Yeah. I'm actually
my son started playing drums this year in the band, and he's finally taking an interest in it without me pushing it on him, which, I know I never wanted to do that, so I didn't. But, he always had a kit set up next to mine, and he's just getting started now. And, it's fun. I don't have the patience to be a teacher to the general public. I'll tell you that right now. teaching him, obviously I have a lot more patience. And
Uh-huh.
first off, the kid's got it, so he's got the rhythm already. He's doing things, and I go upstairs, I start washing dishes or something, and he's still going. I come down, I go, who showed you that? And he's like, nobody. I'm like, you see, this is what I'm telling you. You could play the same, like, say you play like a simple 4/4, bass kick. I go, but you take that left hand, pal, and you put it on the tom, right? Let's play the same thing. It's going to sound totally different.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of drums, man. Like, you can get away with playing the same thing 10 different times. You move your hands around, it's different.
Oh yeah, for sure. And having kids, it's like my kit's set up in my kid's playroom. So like there's toys everywhere in the playroom, Legos and Star Wars stuff everywhere, and I have the kit set up, and I leave the sticks there, and if they sometimes they'll get on there and they're beating on it, or it becomes the battleground for a Star Wars invasion. So either or, but
however it's gonna go that day.
Yeah, like just please don't break anything. But it's like, but it's hard it's hard to break a drum set though. So
exactly, the way I see it is like, you let him play that drums. I'm like, listen, I don't think he's gonna hit it harder than I am. So let him have at it.
That's very true, because my niece came down one time and like she's just going to town on my snare drum, and my mother-in-law like runs in, she's like, stop, you're gonna break it. I'm like, there's no way she's gonna break this. Have you seen me play? I play very hard. That is a Stuart Copeland snare drum. It can take it. Trust me.
Now climbing all over it, that's a whole nother game. They know that's
don't open like
that's a no-go.
Don't open Cokes and juices around it or something.
Yeah, negative.
Yeah, I remember playing a show one time, and like I went to get behind my kit. I'm like, why is it so sticky? And like someone had sat down and like I guess opened a Coke that was like shooken up, and it just like just exploded everywhere. I'm like, ugh. Like, who was this? They're like, all right, no one's gonna fess up to it. All right, I see how it is.
See, and just when you think that's clean, a month later you're gonna find some sticky patch underneath the tension rod, and you're like, oh man,
how did I miss that? I thought I took it all
Right.
apart. Yeah. So I always like to ask this question before we end the podcast: is what other things are you into besides drums? Or if you don't have other things you're into besides drums, that's cool, because I get that answer a lot, surprisingly.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, because. Well, I used to be into motorcycles before I had kids. I was I had a Harley at one point, and I had my fun with that. But that ended once the kids came. And to be honest, I'm so busy with work, and I work full time. I'm raising 2 kids. I'm doing the drum thing on the side. I love poker. Love to play poker. You know what I mean? I got Atlantic City right, hop skip at a jump from me. So
yeah.
I like to shoot down there and play some poker, but just it's mostly drums and music, because that's what my free time consists of.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm always curious, because I've talked to many drummers, and they're like, I'll ask the question, they're like, well, I just like to play drums. If I'm not playing drums, I'm thinking about it, or there's other people like me. I'm a big movie nerd and stuff like that, so I'm into movies and stuff.
I take a good movie. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
A huge part of my brain is stored of movie quotes.
Okay.
But
what would you say is your favorite movie then?
That is like a you like potato sack me with that question, man. How do I answer that?
I answer it very easily, but
what do you say?
Godfather Part 2.
Godfather Part 2. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh man, is it my favorite movie? All right, I'll tell you what. My favorite comedy right now.
All right,
Weekend at Bernie's. No doubt in my mind.
That is
first.
I love that movie.
Dude, the first time I saw that movie, I remember like it was yesterday. I stayed home sick from school.
the air quotes. Yeah.
Totally pay-per-viewed it. Watched it immediately. As soon as it was done, watched it immediately again.
Nice.
I was rolling the first time I watched that movie.
Yeah.
But you know what? To be honest, it's not too far off the beaten path. But what I do enjoy doing, I make a lot of loops. On GarageBand, nothing crazy. I got a little keyboard that plugs right into my phone.
Yeah.
But I could play rudimentary piano. I play a little bit of bass, and I'm actually going to start making more of them, I believe, because I don't know if you've seen, I've done a couple of collab videos with Eric Danzy. Eric Danzy drums. Mm-hmm. Great dude, great player. And thank God for his editing skills, because I'm inept in that department. Because what we'll do is I'll send him a loop. He'll play over half of it. I'll play over the other half. And thank God for him, he puts it all together. But I've been thinking about doing more of that and trying to put him out there, see if anyone wants to jam on him. And, not with me or, on their own, with me, with other people, whatever they want to do with them. Yeah. So I think I'm going to explore that in the future.
Nice. That sounds, that's something, I would get bored when I was, 4 kids and I was touring with a band. You flip open the garage band and, you just you start putting loops together, just like,
yeah, man,
that sounds good. Oh, let's add this to it. Let's add this filter or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun, man.
It's good fun.
It's very easy to use, user friendly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when you record your videos, you just hook up the camera and that's it.
I'm straight GoPro.
Just GoPro, yeah. It's got pretty good audio, surprisingly.
I got to tell you, if you listen to my videos with or anyone that's using a GoPro with some headphones, you're getting low end for days.
Yeah.
Very, very rarely do I get like any kind of cymbal distortion from the hats or anything.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm really pleased with it. But ideally in the next year, I'd like to get a decent home studio set up and get some real quality. With the stuff I'm playing with the Love custom drums and the Zion cymbals. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do them the injustice of not giving that Premiere audio out if it's available.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting it together.
Yeah, I hear you, and it's I stress about it too, because when I put up videos from time to time, I'm like, it's just the GoPro. It's like it's gonna sound kind of
right
GoPro-y, I guess you could say, and it sounds good, but editing the sound together with the video and taking the video sound out, it's like, it's such a time-consuming thing. I don't have time,
Yeah, that's why I keep it simple, stupid, man. I live on with my day.
Oh, what was that? You dropped out there for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just send whatever I got recorded right from the GoPro wirelessly to my phone. Mm-hmm. I edit and then I call it a day.
Yeah, and that. And I always tell myself, it's like, just do it, Daniel. Just do the GoPro audio. Don't try to edit it. You don't have time. Right. Just don't fret over it. And and I'm like, when I remember telling my wife before they left, I'm like, she's like, what are you gonna ask Joey? I'm like, I'm gonna ask him if he's using a GoPro, because I'm pretty sure he is. And
100%.
Sure enough, I'm like, and she's like, if he does use it, that means it's okay. I'm like, all right, if Joey's approved of it, then it's okay. So that's
it totally gets my stamp of approval, Dan.
All right, there we go. All right, you heard it here, guys. It's got Joey's approval, so let's go with it.
Obviously, that's funny.
Yeah. So to wrap it up, where can people find you on the internets?
You know what? I'm pretty much an Instagram guy. I do it because it's easy. Of the range. So it's Joey Bones _. Mm-hmm. And I am on Facebook. You can find me on there. But to be honest, I use that for my family and friends just to keep in touch more than anything.
Yeah.
But in the future, I want to get myself a YouTube channel cooking. But it's just a matter of, once again, of just finding the time and
I hear you.
The editing and what have you. But I think I'll get there.
Yeah, I have a YouTube page. I hadn't put anything on it in about a year, so.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, everyone's like, wow, you have a really big following on Instagram, but why not on YouTube? I'm like, because I'm on Instagram more. That's it.
Right.
That's where I like it.
User-friendly, easy, simple, stupid. I like it. Mm-hmm. But you could always look up my band, the Morgan Freemasons.
I like that name.
We're doing our thing. Oh, dude, I smile every time I say it. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I like catchy names that have like a pun in it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great name until we actually get sued. But I only hope we're big enough that we get sued.
Yeah. Well, like my co-host Adam that helps me out on the podcast sometimes. He's in a band. He's in a band called Tequila Mockingbird.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I'm like
Tequila Mockingbird. Okay.
Because he's a teacher, and all the other guys in the band are teachers as well. And I'm
is he an English teacher by chance?
I don't think he is, but I think one of the other guys is. And I'm like, that is such a great name for like a teacher rock band.
You got it.
So
that's funny.
That's awesome. But I really appreciate you being on because like I said, been following your I guess channel, I guess you could say, on Instagram for a while, and it's been good stuff. And and I like how the fact that you comment on other people's stuff. You're not like all high and mighty, like, oh, it's just me, check it out, kind of attitude. Like you'll comment on, everybody's stuff, and it's all about.
I try to, man.
Yeah.
First off, it is time consuming. It does take a lot of my time.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I see it is, I jumped into this being, just me. I'm personable. If I like what I like, I'm going to tell you what I like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell you what I don't like because my mama raised me right. But what I'm saying is, I like the interaction. I really enjoy it. I like talking to other people.
Mm-hmm.
I get so many ideas from these guys. Guys like Greg Hersey. I mean,
Oh
dude,
yeah,
he's a monster. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like a great player. And just I want to be personal. I want to be real. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe I don't get back to somebody. I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I just want to be out there for everybody because everyone's out there for me, and I appreciate it greatly. Truly.
Oh yeah. And
I take none of it for granted.
Yeah, I mean it's a fantastic community for sure, and it's it's very positive, and I like how it's staying that way. It's very easy for it to go like the Twitter route and get all trolly, and people are at each other.
Listen,
yeah.
The haters are few and far between, but I've always said if you have no haters, you're not doing something right.
Yeah. I get a couple of the haters. It's like I just brush them off, like, oh, there you go away. But
have your fun.
Have your fun. Just say your 2 cents, and then I'll move on. But it's.
And I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
Well, I want everyone to check out my @GrooveShare account, which is something I'm pretty passionate about, man. Because the way I see it, I've gotten to where I've got in the last year only because of gentlemen like yourself reposting my grooves, talented musicians, all these repost sites and Drums Outlet and Drums and Less, all these guys that are part of this community.
Yeah, and like
they were sharing my clips, you know what I mean? And that meant the world to me.
Yeah.
So that's why I jumped on the Groove Share and started doing the same, just so I can give back. And I'd love for everyone to check it out if you hadn't already. All it is Dope Groove after Dope Groove.
Yeah, it's a great site. I mean, because you got that, you've got Drummer's Corner, you got
there's so many official Drummers Guide to Gear.
You got Chris there doing that, and you got you've got the Snare Drum Freaks. You got
Mike is a great dude.
Yeah, he's a great dude. He posts some of the greatest stuff. But yeah, and we all talk to each other, which is the great thing. Like there's no there's no competition. It could easily be because drummers, I'm guilty. I sometimes get competitive, and I have to rein myself in. It's like, dude, chill out.
No, I feel you, and that was also the biggest surprise when I got onto this medium.
Mm-hmm.
Even Buddy said it. He talks to so many builders, and everyone, for the most part, everyone's in it to win it, man. For everyone, they help each other out. They're talking to each other. They're brainstorming, and just essentially we're doing the same thing as players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's been one of the best things that I've done as a drummer for sure.
Turn my year around.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, I really appreciate you being on, and anytime you want to be on, just let me know if you got something you want to talk about, or you got some big announcement. Let me know. I'm always happy.
That's awesome. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your time and you thinking of me, and looking forward for what the future brings for both of us, really.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because when I started this podcast, I had like this other idea, and now I'm like, I like talking to people who are influential on the medium like Instagram versus like it can be so easy for me to like, hey, I'm gonna go talk to Zildjian or I'm gonna go talk to Tama, but I want to hear people like Buddy or you or Jessica from Jessica Bardot or Mike,
I love her.
Mike Martin, any of those guys. I'd rather talk to those guys any day because they have a point of view that's not being heard sometimes, I think, which is important.
Right.
So.
No, listen, absolutely, man. You get the pulse of the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, I'm gonna go clean the kitchen up because that was like my wife's like, you can record the podcast and then go clean the kitchen. I'm like, word, I got it.
We all have our to-do list, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm going to stop the recording real quick. So we'll see you guys. Bye.
Later.